at the end of lap 1, but Mike Williams, I think, just extending his lead a little bit. The championship of the weekend at Brands Hatch last month, making amends for this weekend. But coming in out of the bomb hole to the forum, Mike Williams coming under a bit of pressure now there as Robbie Kenny closes the gap on him, and as he closes the gap, so he's bringing Dick Trevitt with him as well. So the top 3 getting closer and closer as they come through to complete 2 laps, with Mike Williams still at the head of the field, but with Robbie Kenning and Dick Trevitt much closer to him this time than they were last time around. Less than a second separating the top 3, less than half a second separating the top 3 as they go through there. Mike Williams, Robbie Kenning, Dick Trevitt and Matthew Simpson fourth. Fastest lap of the race went to Dick Trevitt, 2:24.514 for the Metro Turbo. Then John Moore was 5th, Phil Goodwin 6th, Tim Shooter 7th, Richard Garrard 7th, 8th, Richard Cowley in 9th place, and Neil Burnett rounding out the top 10 as the rest of the field follow on through up to Wilson, back down toward Palmer. Still Mike Williams at the head of the field, but not now nearly as comfortable as he was earlier in the race, with Robbie Kenning challenging hard with the yellow and blue Metro, and then Dick Trevitt not so very far behind with the MG Turbo out of the left-hander at Agostini and up towards Hamilton, very fast left-hander, and then onto the brakes for the right-hander at Oggies to take them up toward the Bentley Straight once again. But Mike Williams having to look to his mirrors now. He's going to have to start driving defensively. It's going very wide indeed there. Dick Trevitt just carried a little bit too much speed into Oggies, and he's run straight on round the outside, kicking up the dust now. He's going to keep going, but he's lost 1 place. He'll probably lose a second, will he, as they turn through Williams and onto the Bentley Straight. In fact, I think Dick Trevitt's just going to hang on to the position there, but that was a very wild and hairy moment for Dick Trevitt as he turned through the right-hander at Oggies there. Just carried a little bit too much speed into the corner, and that's lost him all the good ground that he made up in the first lap of this race, and he's going to start having to work at it again. From hole and out into our view, but a new race leader because Robbie Kenning has taken over in the lead of the race then, so the blue and yellow car of Robbie Kenning it is now that leads. Mike Williams in second place, so it's all changed up at the front with Kenning in second place and Mike Williams Kenning in the lead, I should say. Mike Williams back to second, and it's a good lead for Robbie Kenning as well. It's practically a second. The TSL screen tells me it's 1.047 seconds between Robbie Kenning in the lead and Mike Williams in second place. John Moore comes through now in third with Dick Trevitt right on his heels, so Dick Trevitt may only have lost 1 position there with that grassy moment at Oggies, but he's now behind John Moore, but very close behind John Moore, and he'll be looking to try and challenge and take that place back. Not quite sure what state his tyres are going to be in after that grassy moment on the previous lap, but once they're cleaned up, he should be able to recover at least 1 place. Whether he's going to be able to take any more than that, well, we'll have to wait and see. Down in towards Agostini, the new leader, Robbie Kenning, goes, and having got into the lead, he's pulling away from Mike Williams. Is that because Mike Williams has a bit of a problem, or whether maybe Mike just doesn't have the pace to live with Robbie Kenning, because Kenning, having got through into the lead, has now got a much more comfortable position than he had earlier on. It was just over a second at the beginning of the lap. It's now up to 1.5 seconds. And then John Moore in third place. Dick Trevitt back to fourth. And then next up behind him in fifth place is Matthew Simpson. So, Bentley Straight, our race leaders are already through the at Nelson. Robbie Kenning, the new race leader, set the best lap of the race last time around at 2 minutes 23.417, and so the gap just over a second, although opening up still further on the lap. Robbie Kenning is beginning just to establish a bit of an advantage. 1.7 seconds. Dick Trevitt looking for a way back into third place, get past John Moore. Not able to do it at the moment, but Kenning going through then, completing 4 laps now. Mike Williams also completing 4 laps, and John Moore holding off Dick Trevitt. Thought Trevitt's going to have a go getting into Murray's last time around. He wasn't able to make it stick there, so he's now got the work to do again as they head into Riches. Still got half of the race remaining. 9 minutes and 52 seconds of this 20-minute race, and out of Wilson they come back down into the left-hander at Palmer. First and second still Robbie Kenning and Mike Williams. Mike Williams at the moment just hanging in there and trying to keep it going as quickly as he can. So he's not losing very much to Robbie Kenning, but he's not close enough to mount any kind of challenge. Then John Moore is the next one up, but he has Dick Trevitt for company, although Dick not as close now as he was before. Maybe a problem there for the turbo as Dick Trevitt heads down into Hamilton. Behind Dick Trevitt is still Matthew Simpson, who isn't close to Dick Trevitt, but means that if Dick makes another mistake, as he did earlier on in the race, then he'll be able to pounce. Phil Goodwin is next up in 6th place, ahead of Tim Shooter 7th, Richard Cowley in 8th place, Richard Garrard 9th, and then Neil Burnett rounding out the top 10. Then straight through Rundle and Nelson, and heading then coming down in towards Bromhole. In a moment he'll come back into our sight, and as he does, Mike Williams a little bit closer, I reckon, as they turn through Coram and into our view once again. Murray's, and then back into our view, coming up this time to complete 5 laps for Robbie Kenning. Mike Williams still charging on behind, 1.4 seconds behind, is a whisker less than it was previous time around. Slightly quicker lap from Mike Williams. Still Dick Trevitt behind John Moore, and then Matt Simpson the next one up. But it's a big gap before we get the next one through. Phil Goodwin ahead of Tim Shooter, going through now in 6th and 7th places, and then Richard